lives are so short. We've got all these decisions to make. Yeah, our days run so long, we don't know which path to take. An hour lasts a second, a minute lasts a day. We're messed up and bogged down and often led astray. But now's the time to choose if the hero will be you. And this is when the hero meets his heroine. Whether drug or woman, we don't know. And this is when we find out, will you die the hero, or live long enough to see yourself fall down? As children we long to become a hero, but we all have a choice to be good or evil. The day will come when we are on our own, and we'll be messed up and bogged down, and we won't know which way to go. And that is the time to choose if the hero will be you. Whether drug or woman, we don't know. This is when we find out, will you die the hero, or live long enough to see yourself fall? And this is when the hero meets his heroine. Whether drug or woman, we don't know. This is when we find out, will you die the hero, or live long enough to see yourself fall down? Whoa, yeah, yeah. And that was when the hero met his heroine. It was not a woman, but a drug. And that is when you found out he wouldn't die the hero, just live long enough to see himself fall. Only long enough to see himself fall. And just long enough to see himself fall down, down, down. Hello. First, I want to thank Mike and Taylor, our Patreons. Our patrons? I guess that's how you say it. First things first, they get to see this video first. And also, they picked what song this video was going to be. This is an original song that I wrote called Every Hero Has His Heroine. And it's a song about my dad. And I know that most of you probably don't know anything about my dad, and that's fine. If you do want to hear the whole story, if you're interested more in the song and what it's about, that's going to be an exclusive video for our patrons on Patreon. If you guys want to help to support us and to help us succeed on this YouTube journey, that would be a great way to do that. So if you want to go and help us kind of keep growing, you can go over there and join our Patreon in the link below in the description. Other than that, if you just want to subscribe, help us get to 100, help us get to 1,000, that would be amazing. We'd love to have you guys on this journey and to walk with you. Yeah, it's been awesome so far. God has been so good, just providing us with energy and the ability to work together as a team, and to get these videos out and people seeing them. So it's hard when you first start because you're scared of what people think, or you're afraid of rejection, or that things won't succeed. But we're just going to keep on persevering, and we're just going to keep on pushing through, and doing what we want to do. We're just having fun. We're just putting out videos because we love it. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for being part of this journey. Like I said, please subscribe, like the video, share it, and if you want to hear the whole song story, go over to our Patreon and join our community there. It would be great to have you. So, thanks, guys. Have a good one. See you later. All right. Are we alone now? Hello, Patreon. How are you doing? I hope you like this video. This is just my original song. Like I said, it's called "Every Hero Has His Heroine," and this is a song that I wrote when I was in high school. So it's about my dad. So let me start from the beginning. So let me tell you a little bit about who I am and kind of the background that I come from. So I was born in Massachusetts, and my mom met my dad in college. They got married and had some kids. They had my older brother and then me. The day that my mom found out that she was pregnant with me was the same day that my dad got his test results back to find out that he was positive for HIV. So a little bit more background. My dad was a heavy drug user. So my mom explained it this way to me, is that any drug that you can think of, he had done or did back then. And he lived a pretty crazy lifestyle. There was moments where, like, we would have one car for the family, and he would literally take the car and race his friends to Canada and back for days. And we wouldn't have a car to go to work or to school or whatever my mom needed to do. Just things like that. He was very, very selfish, and just kind of thought about himself and his partying lifestyle and his friends. At one point, he began sharing needles with his friends for different drugs, and one of his friends contracted HIV, which made him contract HIV. And so when I was right around 3 years old, my parents got a divorce because my dad just couldn't get out of that lifestyle, and he just continued to do what he was doing. And so it was just me, my mom, and my brother for a pretty long time. And the only memories that I really have of my dad are a couple. I remember him dressing up as a werewolf for Halloween one year, and then I remember him coming into our house and stealing my Game Boy in the middle of the night. And I remember the cops coming that night. My mom called the cops, and we were writing a report on him, and we had to like tell him what we saw and everything, and we were asleep, but he came in and kind of stole some stuff while we were asleep. I assumed to sell to buy more drugs. But anyways, he led a really rough life. And so back to the song, that all comes from that. Essentially, the song is about having choices in your life. And the chorus goes, "This is where the hero meets his heroine." Whether it be a woman or a drug, this is when we find out, will you die the hero, or will you live long enough to see yourself fall down? And for me, that represents a very strong choice in my life. Would I go down the same path that my dad did, where he was addicted to every drug under the sun? Or, would I choose to find a wife and start a family and be, a good person, to live a life that is as close to righteous as I could? That was kind of my questioning as I went through this song. And the very end of the song, I hadn't written it until today. It just kind of came to me when I was singing, and I changed the chorus into that is when the hero met his heroine. It was not a woman but a drug. And that is when he found out he wouldn't die the hero, but he would live long enough to see himself fall down. And that was my dad. I mean, his mom was a pastor, a reverend. His family went to church. They were supposed to be Christians, and but a lot of his family led him down the path that he was on. And my dad ended up dying when I was in the third grade. I remember my mom getting the call, and she was crying and she was upset, and she told me, that my dad had passed away. But at this point, remember, I only have a few memories of him, so I don't really remember him very well. And so, I had kind of had mixed feelings. I was like, I just don't know what to feel at this moment. And we went up to his funeral, and I remember sitting in the church, meeting my dad's side of the family for the first time that I remember in my life. And I remember sitting at the funeral in the pews, and they're speaking and having kind of this service. And my mom's crying, obviously. I mean, she's bawling her eyes out, and she hadn't seen him in several years. But someone had basically told her, like, we think that he had given his life to Christ at the end, and I don't know what to think about that. To be 100% honest, I don't know where he is. But I remember looking at my mom, and I asked her at the funeral. I asked her, "Why are you crying?" Because I couldn't. I guess I couldn't understand the good parts about my dad. Because my mom had told me these things, like he was addicted to drugs, he was an alcoholic, and all of these things, but I never really got to hear the good sides of him, because from what I understand, there weren't many, at least from when I was a kid. So it was hard to it was hard to understand for me. I didn't understand at that time, like, why should I be sad about this? I don't know this person. Why should I be upset? Why are you upset? And I didn't understand that full background. Remember, I was in the third grade. I didn't have a good understanding of life in general. But yeah. So long story short, that's what the song is about. It's about my dad, and kind of that lost life, and in a parallel universe where he had decided, enough with the drugs, or I'm not going to do that. How would I be today? Where would I be today? My life would be completely different, and I don't know if that's for the better or for the worse, or for whatever. But it would. I always think about that. I think in my adult life, why did he choose the things that he chose? And I think I've used that a lot in my life to make correct decisions, to not get tied up in things like that, to have the right friends around me, and to get rid of the ones that are not so good. So yeah. Anyways, long emotional story later. That's where I'm at. That's the song, and I love this song. It just is something that I play over and over in my mind, and something that I hold on to when I need to make decisions, or when I'm in a moment of a fork in the road. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a patron. You guys are awesome. Seriously, any money that comes into the Patreon is all going to be used for our YouTube channel, to help it grow and to help it do better, and to do some awesome things. We have so many plans for things that we want to do. So I'm just so excited to walk this journey, and so excited that people are willing to walk it along with us. You guys are absolutely legends. So yeah, thank you. See you guys later. Peace.